Hello everybody, VO1JQB here. Another video today, and this is the second part of the ham radio how-to series. And this one is going to be on codes and stuff you're going to hear on the radio. There's a few of them, such as your phonetics, your Morse code, and then there's Q codes. Q codes being the lesser known one among people who are looking to study. So just on the desktop here, I have the MCOM document loaded up here. This is my reference guide for this stuff that I'm doing on the ham radio how-to series. And on page 22, let's just get down there. On page 22, there is this. And this is your phonetic alphabet. Obviously, it goes from alpha to Zulu. And then you got your numbers as well. 0, and it brings you all the way up to 11, which is said 1, 1, as you'd be saying, like 1, 1. Instead of like 11. That's just for ease over HF. You can see here, you got Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta, all the way up to Zulu. And something you guys may have noticed is that you see here, this is A, and that's Alpha. This is B, that's Bravo. That's C, that's Charlie. See where I'm going with this? So the whole point of phonetics is so that every letter corresponds with a word with the same starting letter. Example, S, Sierra. You get the S right there. Papa, November, Kilo, all the way up. And that helps when you're on the radio, and instead of saying VO1JQB, you got Victor, Oscar 1, Juliet, Quebec, Bravo. And in a situation where you're getting nothing but static, such as this, I mean, it works so much better for here. And like if I load up the HF here, for example, and you can hear my fan first off. And you're not going to be able to hear it that well because I got no antenna put in right now, but you hear that static. Imagine if you had a station that was in that static right now and you were trying to contact them. You'd have a lot of trouble. Phonetics make it 10 times easier, maybe even 20 times easier. Obviously, this is amateur radio, and amateur radio is made up of amateurs. As much as you guys may think we're all pros, we're not. So, because some phonetics sound like others over HF, some people have come up with other phonetics that you may hear. You probably will hear if you start doing HF. Going down the list, I got a small one here. For alpha, you got America. That's one that's commonly used. Canada for Charlie. Kilowatt for Kilo. Ocean or Ontario for Oscar. Romeo, common one for that is radio. Tango where's Tango? There's Tango. That's often Texas. Uniform, you got United. Victor, you have, where's Victor? There it is. Victor, you have Victoria. Whiskey, you have Washington. And Zulu, this one I find kind of funny, Zanzibar. I think it's a lot easier just to say Zulu. And, or of course I'm military, this is something we all had to learn. And we're not allowed to use anything else besides the standard phonetics. And I think that's fine. I think the standard phonetics will get you through just fine. I don't know why everybody's making up other ones for the easy ones. And back down on the numbers, like I said before, if you have a number like, let's say 15, you wouldn't say 15, you'd say 1, 5. And so yeah, that's on page 22 of the MCOM ham radio document. I'll put that in the description. Download link if I can figure out how to do all that. Next thing you're obviously going to need to know is your Morse code. And I don't know if this one has a Morse code chart in it. It may not. A lot of band plans and stuff. No, it doesn't look like it does. So I downloaded a helpful little chart here, and I'm sure you guys will find it quite helpful as well. It's a Morse code flowchart. So as you can see here, you got your start and you got your dits and das. These are your small dots and these are your dashes, which they're commonly known by. If you go da, that's A. I'll put here on the side, just over here, an actual list of the Morse code characters, and you can look at that, and then you could look at this chart and figure out this chart is the best way to do it. Because if you start memorizing the dits first, for example, you're gonna go dit, and then you can go dit dit, and that'll give you I. And you can go dit 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 for S, dit 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 for hotel, and then 5 dits for the number 5. And every Morse code character, except for like your apostrophes and your periods and stuff, is in this. So da 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 da, that's Y. Dit da da da, that's J, etc. etc. So that's that. And then we have Q codes. Again, if we go to our basic study guide here, page 32. We go all the way down to 32. We get Q codes, and these are just some of the standard ones that are out there. You know, you got QRM, QRN, QRS, QSY, QRT. Those are the most common ones that are out there. These ones here. Now there's a lot more. There's like a full page of Q codes, but you know, these are the ones you're mainly gonna hear. And you know, sometimes it's nice to have a little card on the side with them on it for when you're just getting licensed. But the main ones I've heard, QRL, this one here, you're probably never going to hear this one on voice. That's mostly a Morse code thing. QRM and QRN, those are very common. QRS, that's Morse code only, I think, because you're not going to ask somebody to send more slowly over voice. You're just going to straight up ask, hey, slow down, slow down. QRX, I don't think I've ever heard that one. QRZ, that's definitely common. There's a whole website named QRZ. So that's if you're getting like if you got a nice old massive pile up there on the HF and you got stations coming left and right. You say QRZ, that means who's calling. Then somebody's gonna come back to you. QSO, that's for the contact in progress. So if I was talking to V1AX, for example, and we were over the HF, I'd say Roger 73, thanks for the QSO. And that just means thanks for the contact. QSY is change frequency. You'll hear that everywhere you go. QSY to the example here is 14210. It's used on the repeaters to say, hey, QSY to this repeater, QSY to this simplex frequency, etc., etc. That's change frequency. QTH is location. If somebody asked me what my QTH was, I could say my QTH is St. John's, Newfoundland. And then I could ask them their QTH. QSL is I acknowledge / I understand. Roger. You'll hear that one a lot. Not so much on the VHF, but you'll still hear it on there. But on the HF, you'll hear, yeah, QSL, I copy your call sign, blah, blah, blah. And QRT is either stop sending on the Morse code side of things, I suppose, or I'm QRT for the day. If I was talking on VO1 NTV repeater and I said, you know, this is VO1 JQB QRT, means I'm done, I'm off the radio, nobody call me. So that's that. Speaking of NTV. So some things you should and shouldn't do when it comes to codes and signals is 10 codes. We have Q codes for a reason. There's no need for 10 codes. And with 10 codes, there's no standard 10 code list. You go everywhere, you're going to get different 10 codes. Our fire department uses 10 codes that aren't the same for the fire department down south. Right? It's all different. Ciphers, nobody can understand them. Nobody wants to hear them. Don't use them. I'm pretty sure it's against the rules anyway. And that may be the same with 10 codes. But I was always told don't use 10 codes on the radio, and you're never going to hear 10 codes on the radio anyway. So that's that. That's codes and signals. Just going to run through my notes here real quick. We covered phonetics, we covered Morse code, and we covered Q codes. We also covered do's and don'ts. Another a don't thing to do is don't obsessively use Q codes. Nobody wants to hear Yeah, QSL, my QTH is this, QSY to this frequency, and QSO. Nobody wants to hear all that, or not QSO, QSY to this frequency, MQRT from this frequency. Nobody wants to hear excessive Q codes. Nobody wants to hear excessive phonetics. Now, yes, use your phonetics, identify call signs, identify stuff like that, but don't be like Romeo, Romeo, India, Charlie, Oscar, Papa, Yankee, blah blah blah. Don't be at it. Don't be at it. Nobody wants to hear it. So that's that. That's some do's and don'ts. I covered phonetics, Morse code, and Q codes, and the do's and don'ts. Any questions, feel free to post it in the comments below. Any tips for making videos better in the future, again, post it in the comments below. Anything you would like to see, again, comments below. And thanks for watching, 7-3, and I'll see you in the next video.